Welcome back. It is that time we check in with our friend Mike Apple. Good morning.
Hello, how are you?
I'm doing all right, Mike. Shopify, we continue to watch this stock. It's been wild this last year.
Yeah, it has. This is Canada's most valuable company. It's based out of Ottawa, e-commerce platform for small business, and the share price yesterday surged to an all-time record high after they announced that their Shop Pay system will be available on Facebook and Instagram. So ostensibly just building the ecosystem for small businesses, making it easier to do transactions on social media platforms. This is amazing, Melanie. I wanted to point this out because Shopify is worth $229 billion.
Ooh.
It's, we don't give enough credit to our Canadian technology giants, and Shopify blew past the RBC, the Royal Bank, in market value last year and has just continued to accelerate. I mean, it's this new world of transactions that, and e-commerce, and you're going to be talking about Bitcoin and all of this.
Yeah.
It's just accelerating at such a rapid pace, and this has just been a standout stock and a star performer in the Canadian economy.
It's pretty wild. And speaking of Bitcoin,
Yeah.
I know you explain it to us every single day, and we say,
as much as I can.
It's still hard to, but we'll talk to an expert about that in just a little bit.
Yes.
Twitter, so talking about some user growth, yay or nay?
It slowed down, and they figure it's going to continue to do so because of what they did during the U.S. political cycle, and blocking the U.S. President Donald Trump and many followers. And, that's just a loss from a revenue stream potentially for Twitter. But the CEO, Jack Dorsey, saying it was worth it. They're not, worrying too much about the business implications from it. And you look at what the share price of Twitter is doing today, neither are investors. It's up 3% in pre-market action, and they're making more money, and the revenue is just fine. So, we make a big deal out of, what the regulatory process is right now for social media companies, but they're continuing to grow.
Mike, you continue to follow this one, the semiconductor shortage and its impact on the automotive industry.
Yeah, General Motors, not just shutting down the plant in Ingersoll for 1 week. Oh, no, it's 6 weeks. They've extended it to mid-March. We're talking about an extensive shutdown in Ingersoll, another plant in Kansas, one in Mexico. Some of the other automakers are doing the same, Melanie. The semiconductor shortage, which we've been talking about, which stems from the pandemic, the backlog of orders last year, the initial production issues, it's having a ripple effect. Smartphones are going to get into this because they run on semiconductors. Anything that runs on microprocessors, the companies that need those are scrambling for supply, and the automotive industry is at the forefront right now.
Okay, Mike, our producer here, Rob, is excited about this story because we teased it to break, and he wants to know the answer. So Aunt Jemima, now we know it is changing its name. We've been following the story for some time. It is now going to be known as?
Pearl Milling Company.
Oh, that rolls off the tongue. Yeah, exactly. Okay.
Well, look, that's the actual original company that came up with the pancake mix. And then it went to the Aunt Jemima brand, which, of course, was deemed to be racially insensitive. So they went through a rebranding. They're going back to this. What are the ones who have been rebranded? Mrs. Butterworth's, Eskimo Pie, and Uncle Ben's. So, this is this change over to, well, in this case, Back to the Future, so to speak, for Pearl Milling Company. But I think of note here, Melanie, it's owned by Pepsi. PepsiCo is the company that owns this table syrup.
You can't call it maple syrup, right? Because it's...
No, you cannot.
Yeah, it's not.
No, you cannot.
Because it's not.
Look at the ingredients.
I still think it's delicious. I'm not going to lie.
The fact that it's
that's just
Pepsi
me.
and
people are going
maple
like this
syrup
to me.
and high fructose corn syrup. Anyway, yes, changing it.
Sugar on the pancakes.
Anyway, the new branding is going to be there. They're going to have a little mention of Aunt Jemima at the little bottom of the saying that they're going through this, and then it'll all be switched over as of June.
Okay, we'll be watching that one. Mike, appreciate the time today.
Thank you.
Thank you. And coming up next, Mike is always talking about Bitcoin, right? And a lot of people are still scratching their heads on, I don't even know how it works. Major headlines this week, new heights, but we're going to break down this cryptocurrency and how it's going to play into everyday life. And also, what is it? People are still confused. We'll break it down coming up.